Have you ever stopped to think about the secret science happening in your kitchen? I mean, the kind of stuff that's hiding in plain sight, pulling off a delicious and maybe even a little dangerous magic trick every single time you cook. So let's get right into it. What if that perfect golden brown crust, that amazing smell, that flavor that makes you close your eyes, what if all of that came with a catch, a hidden price, cooked right into your favorite foods? You know what I'm talking about? The perfect crust on a loaf of bread, right? That incredible smell of coffee brewing, the deep, rich flavor of cocoa, the savory sear on a piece of meat, even the color of a dark beer. These things seem totally different, but they're not. They all come from the exact same chemical reaction. And that is the secret we are cracking open today. It is a magic trick, and it's happening in your frying pan, in your oven, and trust me, once you see how the trick is done, you are never going to look at your food the same way again. Because this whole delicious, dangerous mystery, it all boils down to just one powerful chemical process. And this thing is totally two-faced. It's both a creator and a destroyer, a real friend and a foe to our food. So it's time to meet the star of the show. It's called the Maillard reaction. And for now, let's just think of it as the hero of our story, the non-stop flavor factory that's running in your kitchen. So to put it simply, the Maillard reaction is basically a chemical dance. It happens when amino acids, the building blocks of protein, get together with something called reducing sugars. Just think of them as the sugars that are ready to party, like glucose. And what gets this whole dance started? Heat. Heat is the DJ. And this is super important. This is not burning. It's not caramelizing. It is a way more complex and, frankly, a way more beautiful flavor transformation. Whoa, okay, don't freak out about this diagram. You do not need to memorize this, I promise. The only thing you need to see is that it starts up here with a sugar and a protein. Then it goes through all this craziness. But the real magic, it happens down here, where it creates these things called Strecker aldehydes. That's just a fancy name for the molecules that make all those incredible smells of roasting and baking we love. And check out this quote from the research. It nails it. This reaction is a master of transformation. It changes the food's color and its flavor, which scientists just lump together and call organoleptic properties. But get this, it also changes the food on a much deeper level, even affecting how easily our bodies can use the protein in it. But, every hero has a dark side. Every magic trick has a cost, and our flavor factory, the Maillard reaction, well, it has a pretty serious dark side, and this is where our story takes a twist. Let's just lay it all out side by side. The prize? It's obvious. Incredible flavors, amazing smells, rich colors, awesome textures. But the price? Well, as the reaction keeps going, it can start forming some nasty stuff, like Advanced Glycation Endproducts, or AGs. It can also create acrylamide. You've probably heard about that as a bad thing in French fries or burnt toast. Plus, it can destroy essential amino acids and make the protein harder for us to digest. So what exactly are these AGs? Think of them as the guests who show up way too late to the party and start breaking things. They're formed in the final, messier stages of the reaction. And the reason we worry about them is because they're the same kind of compounds that our bodies naturally form as we get older, and they're linked to a whole bunch of health problems. Okay, so here's the big question. Is this just a deal we have to accept? Do we have to take the bad to get the good? And the answer, incredibly, is no. You can take control. You can literally become a chemical chef. See, the Maillard reaction isn't just a random event. It actually responds to the conditions in your kitchen, conditions you control. Think of it like a control panel. You crank up the temperature, you speed it up. That's why searing a steak works so well. If you make the environment less acidic, like adding a little baking soda to something, that also hits the gas. And moisture is a huge one. The reaction hates water, which is exactly why we pat our meat dry before it hits that hot pan. But just managing the conditions, that's only half the story. Now here comes the part that is going to blow your mind. What if you could perform molecular surgery on the reaction itself? What if you could actually block the path to all the bad stuff while keeping the flavor factory wide open for business? Okay, so on the left, there's that crazy roadmap again, but look at what's happening on the right. You see these little guys? These are our flavor bodyguards. They hunt down one of the main troublemaker molecules in the reaction, this one right here, and they trap it. They literally take it out of the game, stopping it from going down the path that creates those nasty AGEs. This is the secret right here. Certain natural compounds act like tiny molecular traps. They are perfectly designed to catch these super reactive little intermediates, we can just call them flavor bombs, that are on their way to becoming AGs. They just swoop in and neutralize them before they can cause any trouble. It's amazing. And this brings us to what I think is the ultimate food hack. And we're not talking about weird lab chemicals or expensive equipment. The secret to mastering the Maillard reaction is probably already in your kitchen pantry right now. So who are these amazing molecular bodyguards? Well, they're compounds called polyphenols, and they are hiding in plain sight. We're talking about stuff like green tea, grapes, cocoa, and especially herbs like rosemary and spices like cinnamon. So think about it. When you add these to your food, you're not just adding flavor. You're adding active ingredients that are changing the chemistry of your cooking for the better. So here is the big takeaway. By deliberately using ingredients that are packed with these polyphenols, a rosemary rub on your steak, maybe a marinade with a little tea in it, you are scientifically hijacking the Maillard reaction. You're pushing it down the road to delicious flavor and literally putting up roadblocks on the path to the bad stuff. So now you know the secret. You know that incredible flavor isn't just some random art. It's chemistry. And it's chemistry that you can direct. So the only question left is, now that you know how to be the master of your kitchen's flavor chemistry, what are you going to master next?